Welcome back to Eye on Ocean County. I'm Christina Seco. Developing student athletes into responsible young adults is the attitude Coach Brett Smith brings to his lacrosse team as they prepare for an upcoming fundraiser. Joining me now for this segment is Coach Brett Smith and, of course, Toms River Mayor Kelleher. Thank you so much for joining us again. And thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is the second annual fundraiser for student athletes, and it's an exciting event. Brett, I want to start with you. Why is this so important for your team?
I think the reason why it's so important is just the lesson that it teaches our players. We're constantly asking them to give of themselves for the betterment of the group so our team can function effectively like any organization. This just kind of takes it to another level, expands our sphere of influence outside the immediate team, and gives them lessons that they're going to hopefully take with them for the rest of the way.
And
Now
Mayor,
you know why Toms River's got some great schools and some great teachers, because of that spirit and that attitude. Brett first came to see me a couple of months ago to tell me about this program. We've tried to help other people in the past and use, I guess, what you'd call the bully pulpit of the mayor's office to help promote these worthy causes. And when they told me about the program last year where they worked to do a fundraiser in the form of a walk at High School North for the family of a mother who died. She was the mother of 10 or 11 children? 11 children. She died, tragically. And they did this program, and the kids on Brett's lacrosse team were the moving force behind this. One of the sons of the women is on that team, and I'm so proud of these kids too, at that age, to be so concerned about the family of their fellow teammate, that they just asked us if we could help. They wanted to do it again this year, and this year they've expanded it to include 3 other families besides the Hertz the family from last year. Bruce, maybe you could run down some of the folks that are going to.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, Coach. So it's going to benefit 4 families in need.
Correct.
Can you talk to us about those families?
Sure. We have 2 families from High School East this year, and one of the families, the Picoros, Mr. Picoro, was a true hero, embodies our whole concept of giving of himself. He was a volunteer on September 11th at Ground Zero and just went up there on his own accord, worked hard to help clean up, and then suffered from the effects with his health after, and ended up losing his life, sadly. And he leaves behind a wonderful family with tremendous financial burdens from everything they've gone through. So we're going to help the Picoros at East, along with the Fetzer family from East, who just lost their mom. 4 kids, one still at High School East, and again lost to cancer. At High School South, we're helping a fantastic young man, a sophomore, Chris Knowles, who's just got a tremendous spirit. Again, he kind of fits in. He definitely fits into what we like at High School North Lacrosse, and I kind of wish he was on our team. But he got diagnosed with brain cancer, and he's fighting his fight to get healthy with that and his financial burdens, driving to the city, things like that. And at High School North, we're helping the Donovan family. One of the Donovan children's at North, another one's at Intermediate North. And Mrs. Donovan's been battling cancer for 4 years, in and out of treatment. She's always trying new medicines, very good spirit, always fighting. And they're suffering some financial difficulties at the time, just to drive to New York to see their doctors and everything. So we're hoping we can help with all 4 of them.
Chris, when somebody comes in and tells you that that's what they want to do and asks you for help, I don't know anybody that would be so cold-hearted to say, no, I don't want to help you do this thing. So we're doing what we can to help and to help promote this thing. Even being here on this program, we appreciate the opportunity to tell the story to the public. I personally got involved with the Picoro family when I met the mother when they were about to be evicted from their home. Joe Picoro went there as an individual. He wasn't in the police or fire department or with any union, and they had a terrible time trying to get some benefits from him because he had to prove that he was there. He didn't have a logbook from a police station or a firehouse, and they really suffered. And they have a young daughter who most of her life watched her father dying for years in a hospital bed in the living room, and he died of all those Ground Zero related respiratory problems just about a year or so ago. So it's certainly a worthy cause, and I don't know the other people, but they're, I'm sure, equally worthy of help.
Of course, to help the families. Now, this event's taking place Saturday, June 4th at Toms River High School North. Now, Coach, what is it like to see your players? You see them on the field. Obviously having team spirit together to play the game. But now they're banding together off the field. What is that like for you to see them in a different light?
It's fantastic. I'm so proud of the team the past 2 years, and we always kind of force them to come together, be their own family, give themselves for the benefit of everyone else. And to see them do this last year was fantastic. That's exactly what we want. And now they're all really grasping this concept of helping the community first. And it doesn't matter that these families are from east to south. They're very interested in helping.
They're from the community.
From the community. And these young kids step up, and what they accomplish is amazing when they take ownership of something. So I'm very proud of them.
They're instilling philanthropy as well.
I was the county prosecutor, and unfortunately during that time, I saw a lot of teenagers who did a lot of crazy and a lot of bad things. And I can be perfectly convinced that the students involved in programs like this are not going to wind up under the eye of the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office. No, I mean, it really sets an example. When you're worried about other people, you're going to behave yourself and conduct yourself in an appropriate manner. And even as you say, philanthropy for the future, you're planting the seeds in, and I'm sure will grow and grow as time goes on.
So they're learning things on and off the field, which is important.
That's one of our big goals as a staff. I mean, so much of athletics parallels what we meet in life. And if we can help them in their lives after athletics, which is such a small portion, we feel like we've done something. So.
What he's doing is educating the whole student, and not just in a narrow category.
In a physical, athletic way.
Yeah.
Now, you can walk, you can run for the cause, or you can simply donate. I mean, there's other things to do at the event. Talk to us about some of the other events.
Yeah, the event's going to be a great day for everyone. We try and make it kind of like just a carnival for families and anyone of any age. We have a couple events this year. You can just walk or have a fun run. We have a little course that we train as a team, so we set up a path for everyone to go down. And there's going to be a legitimate 5K race this year with winners in different categories. And so the runners can come and contribute to the cause, along with a game truck. We have a dunk tank that unfortunately I'll be in with a few other
I was going to
coaches.
say, are either of you going to sit and brave the elements?
Nobody's asked me that yet, but if it's warm water, I might be interested.
So you heard that. The mayor may or may not sit on the dunk tank.
That would be fantastic.
And you'll have face painting, which is always fun for the kids.
Sure, face painting. We had a couple of restaurants there sampling their food last year, so it should be a great day.
Okay, and we're all wearing these bracelets. Mayor, we all have these bracelets on, and these are fundraiser. They're $1, and all the money goes towards the families. These are. Where can they get these?
Through any of the high schools. If you contact them, they'll direct you to a group that's helping us, Interact Group at High School East and the Interact Group at High School South. Of course, the North Lacrosse team.
Yeah, these are great. I love these little bracelets. And lastly, we have these shirts, and all the students will be. These are the lacrosse fundraising shirts.
Right, that's what we gave out to the people who participated last year. We have our top corporate sponsors on the back, which we really intend to do again this year. And sign up for the race by May 20, I believe it is, and you get a free shirt.
All right.
Yeah.
Fun stuff, and I hope you guys get tons of walkers and racers.
Thank you.
And
a wet mayor.
And a wet mayor.
Would be fantastic. That would be great.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for telling us about the event and of course the mayor. And when we come back, we will tell you how the mayor plans to cut costs without sacrificing services. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us here on Eye on Ocean County. I'm Christina Seco. Throughout New Jersey, municipalities are faced with a 2% cap, leaving mayors to figure out ways to cut costs without sacrificing services. Here to discuss cost-cutting measures is Toms River Mayor Tom Kelleher. Thanks again for being with us.
Okay, thank you. The toughest part of being the mayor is doing the budget and figuring out how to provide the services that people are entitled to without driving them out of their homes with taxes. As everybody who reads the newspaper and lives in New Jersey knows, New Jersey's got one of the highest tax rates in the entire state of New Jersey, and it's just something that's built up over the years. And at the present time, Governor Christie has taken a position: if we don't fix it now, it's really we're going to crash and burn. And one of the things that they did is passed a law that says that you cannot raise your taxes more than 2% in this given year. And so you look at your budget and say, we can only go 2%. We've got things that have gone up more than that. Now, they did allow certain items to be outside the budget. But what Tom's River has done, and what we've done for the last couple of years in anticipation of this, is we've met with the various labor unions. We have 8 unions in town, from the PBA, the superior officers, white collar, Teamsters and Public Works, all the way down to the crossing guards, who have their own union. And they were all in the middle of contracts, and we just couldn't arbitrarily change their income. So they all agreed to defer any pay raises. We've got the unions to agree to take furlough days, no pay, like 1 day a month. We couldn't do that with the police department because of their schedule, but the police officers agreed to switch their health care from a traditional to a PPO. That one item alone saved us $900,000. So that's some of the types of things we've been doing. We've had a hiring freeze, not replacing people. And the other thing we're looking at is shared services with adjacent municipalities or other governmental agencies. And for example, Bricktown, because of very little building going on, we're going to discharge all of their building inspectors. So our numbers were down too. We decided and worked it out with them that our guys would do their building inspections too. And so they could get the service without having to pay as much. We were able to avoid laying our people off. We're doing shared services, for example, with the schools, picking up their garbage at a rate cheaper than what they're paying other people, but we can make a couple of bucks and they're saving some money. So there's a whole spectrum of things that you can do. Earlier, I sat and, at the request of the New Jersey League of Municipalities, I moderated a panel talking about the potential mergers of police departments and fire departments to save money to the municipalities in that order. You know, 566 municipalities in the state of New Jersey, and I don't think you need 566 police departments. Some of them are very small, that they could consolidate services and save money. So those are the types of things that we've been working very diligently at.
Now, speaking of police and fire departments,
Yeah.
the consolidation, so what does that mean for local municipalities? I know you recently spoke about this topic at an event in Homedale
Right.
for mayors,
Right.
but what exactly does that mean?
Well, it means you can save money. That's the whole idea of shared services. There's no sense 2 adjacent towns having a SWAT team, for example, or having special services, or having 2 separate towns next to each other, having separate dispatchers sitting behind a desk in a radio console, when that could be merged and have only 1 person instead of 2 people. And so those are the types of things that can happen.
Now, what about Island Heights? I know what's going on with that department.
Well, Island Heights is kind of a hole in the donut of Tom's River, and we years ago, before I was ever the mayor, Tom's River talked to them about providing their police service. I want to talk to them again. We're trying to just set up a meeting. I don't know what their position will be. Part of the problem you have with small towns is they say, oh, I like to look in a police car and say, I know that fellow and he knows me. And that's one of the stumbling blocks, and I just don't mean to ascribe that to Island Heights, but it's the concept of home rule. And a lot of these towns do not want to abolish their police departments because they like to think there are guys. What's the budget is going to be the tail that wags that dog, I think, and eliminate a lot of that home rule mentality. There's areas in this county where you have 4 or 5 police departments in a row. One department could handle it and eliminate duplications of superior officers and so on. And this is no reflection on the dedication of the respective officers, but it's just a budget. You know, Governor Christie told me not too long ago when I was with him, he said, what don't people understand when I tell them there is no money? And he's trying to fix these problems. You know, the people who are complaining about their pensions being interrupted with or interfered with, his position is if we don't fix it, there's not going to be any money left. So those are the things we're working diligently on. Shared services are as unlimited as your imagination. Garbage collection, equipment. 2 towns, we just talked to some towns over at the beach for street sweepers.
So what cultural changes are involved in sharing services, do you think?
Well, that home rule attitude is probably the biggest stumbling block. That they don't want to do that. There are other problems. You know, if you go to merge police departments, for example, there's seniority. This town has a requirement for college graduates. This one didn't. So they're not things that can't be overcome. They just have to sit down and have people in good faith sit and talk about it.
All right, Mayor, I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts with us and
Okay.
your concerns as well. And I also want to thank Brett Smith for coming on with Hertz Hikes, and as well as Eric Schubiger for the direction. He's the Director of Recreation. So mark your calendars, 2 very exciting events coming up for Toms River that the Mayor personally wants you to come out to. Saturday, May 14th, the Food Festival, and as well as the Hertz Hike, which is Saturday, June 4th. So mark your